Hi, my name is Micaela Salatino. I also go by Miki or Mika, and I am the program director at the Heart of Ida.
And welcome. I am Gretchen Swanson, and this is On the Line. And I get to interview really cool people who are involved with keeping us well. And today, I have this incredible person, Mickey, who we're going to learn a lot about. And the area of
It
wellness
cut
is
out.
interrelated with pets. So we know um, that we like pets. Most people like pets, and having a healthy pet is very important. But what we're going to talk about today are the people side of what the Centers of Disease Control calls healthy pets, healthy people. And it's the people piece of this that we want to address. Certainly, having a healthy pet is important. There's no question about that. But there's an effect on people that we really want to address. And Mickey is a go to person for me because she has this incredible portfolio of pet experiences. And so I want to start off with this. Is there magic between pets and people?
Well, I would say yes, a lot of it. A lot of it, science is trying to figure out how to explain still, but um, but yes, there is, and I love that the CDC came out with that phrase because we are so connected with our animals. We don't even know how much. You know, they carry a lot of weight for us. A lot of times when they're sick, it's because we're sick. And so taking care of them means also taking care of us because they really, really feel our energy. They feel, you know, when we're stressed, any little bit that we're going through, they feel it and they help us heal. Sometimes by them getting sick and carrying on that some illnesses for us as well. And so that's, you know, what I believe. But yeah, I call it magic. I love that word. Yes, it's definitely magic.
Well, I remember, and I've talked to you about my dog, Georgia. Georgia has passed away, but for many years, she was my go to, sort of my the ballast of my day. I mean, she grounded me, and what I loved was many things, but she would greet me at the door. So I would come home, and there would be this greeter who was just always welcoming. There wasn't a little attitude, a little irritation. Oh, you're late. It's like, no, glad you're here. And that's just a stunning piece of magic. I didn't know that came as a part of the package. Um, and so that magic piece, I think, people walk their dogs and they have that bond, or they sit on their sofa and the pet nestles into a part of a curve of their body, and that sort of thing. I don't know, Mickey, if you have a pet with you today.
So I do not. I mean, one is sleeping. We could go visit him.
Well, that would be
um,
fun at some point. Okay.
yeah. Okay. Yeah. We could do that. His name is Kitty Smalls, and my other kitty, she's outside. She's probably climbing a tree somewhere, doing something fun, hunting as she likes to do. Always loves to bring things, brings us little gifts from outside.
So tell me, have you always had pets?
Yes, I did. I have always had pets. I grew up with, you know, my mom hadn't really had many pets or almost any when she was a child, and so when she had my sisters and I, she said we could have whatever pet we wanted, and so
Wow.
we had, you know, we started off with a bird, then some dogs. And then eventually we got cats, and we even had at one point we had visited a pet store one day. We were like in middle school. And my little sister was in elementary school, and the pet store was selling rats for $1 each because they were snake food. And so we wanted to save the rats from that
Of course.
destiny. And so we adopted some rats and some mice as well. And so we had rats and mice as pets. And I of course chose, the rat that was blind. I'm just attracted to animals. I don't know why, that that maybe needs some help, and I probably was blind in some ways, and I needed my that mirrored back to me, through the rat that I named Mia after Maya. After I named her Maya after Maya the bee, the cartoon for kids at that time, and yeah, and we had at one point, my little sister wanted a potbelly pig, and we were
Okay,
living
whoa,
in.
whoa, 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 whoa. Before the pot-bellied pig, because that's a whole story in and of itself. Let's go back to the rats and the mice.
Yeah.
Did you have cats at that time? That's what everyone
No,
will
thank
want to know.
goodness.
Oh, okay. All right. We just need to
No, no,
clarify
thank
that.
goodness. No, we just had dogs.
Okay. All right. Now we can go on to the pork belly
Yeah.
pig.
Yeah. No, we just had dogs, so they were safe.
Okay.
So yeah, we were at one point, we were living in Modesto, California, and our house that we were renting was in the middle of an almond orchard. We had 18 acres around the property, and we had 3 dogs, and we had 3 cats. And my little sister wanted a potbelly pig, and so my mom said, "Oh, let's get a pig." And so for some time we had a potbelly pig, and she lived with us inside until she got too big and too smart, to open up drawers and cabinets and things. And then she, went outside. But yeah, that potbelly pig traveled with us when we moved back to Argentina. And we even had to get special paperwork because she was one of the first, or if not the first, potbelly pig that was entering the country. So she had to be quarantined for a while, and then yeah, and then we had a potbelly pig in the city, so she was in our backyard basically with the dogs and the
So,
cats. We took them all, like 7 animals.
okay, well, people will have more questions about that. Questions will
Yeah.
be coming in on air. But tell me the attraction to not only something that's something unusual, certainly in our society, having a pig, but also having this different animals within this pet family in your household. What was that for you? What was the attraction, or what encouraged you and your family to have these different animals?
Hmm. So that's a good question. I'd have to think about that. Well, the encouragement, I guess, was from my mom, because she had, I guess, wanted pets when she was growing up, and she didn't get to have them. And so our first dogs were when we were still living in Argentina before we migrated to the US. And so I think we just had, one dog at a time. It wasn't like, we had a whole bunch of dogs living with us all the time, but we always had a pet. And once we moved to the United States, and we went up to live in Lake Arrowhead up in the mountains, my stepdad one day showed up with a Samoyed, like the husky kind of
Yes,
dog, but all
yes.
all white. Um, and we were living in the snow, and so it made total sense. Why not have a snow dog? And so we had a lot of fun with him, and he even traveled with us to Argentina when we moved back. But so he moved with us a few times, and then when we were living in Modesto's, a couple dogs just showed up, stray dogs, and so we adopted them. And I don't know what, I guess the encouragement was, we just all loved animals, and I think we didn't know it at the time, but I think they helped us through a lot of things that we were going through as a family, as like traveling and moving from here to there, and school, and turning, like becoming teenagers. and
Right.
and I think that now as an adult, when I think back about those pets, um I yeah, I just almost wish that I had had this knowledge before, and I would have seen them a little bit, a lot more differently, and maybe interacted with them a lot more differently, because they were dogs, they were inside, outside, we would play. Um, um, and I think that the connection was strong for sure. But now as an adult, I know so much more about that connection, and I thank them so much. Sometimes when I'm meditating and I'm thinking about them, my heart just fills with a lot of love, and I just start to cry, and yeah, I even now, some of them have passed like over a decade ago, some over 20 years ago, and they're still giving me all of this love. And it doesn't stop. It's like the relationship turned into something else, even though they're
Something.
not physically here, they're still here holding space and kind of guiding me through this new journey that I've chosen in the pet wellness world.
So let me just stop there, because I think that what you've described, I just want to check in with you, is that it seemed as the pets that you had in your relationship created a bonding effect with the family and the household and all the experiences that they were going to, is that you became a greater family or household, whatever the word is that people would like to use. And that created a cohesion that, which I think people like, whether it's a one-to-one, one pet to one person, or this greater community. There is another dimension that you're talking about. I'm wondering if we could take a little, could you walk over to your sleeping cats? I'm not, they talk about
Yeah.
sleeping dogs, but maybe we can we can check
Yeah,
out sleeping
let
cats.
me I'll try to be mindful with my camera, and maybe I'll turn my camera. Hi, Kitty Smalls, are you waking up? He's got a sleepy face. Hi, you're on camera, you're famous. Hi.
Yes, that's lovely. That's
That's a
lovely.
cat for
Thank
you.
you. Thank you for that, because I
You're
wanted
welcome. Oh, sorry.
to, there's a couple things I'd like to chat with you about regarding wellness. And again, I'm looking at the people side of it, although interacting in a wellness format with pets helps us remain well, and allows us to pay attention to who we are. So what I wanted to do, there's a couple of things at this point. What I'd like to do is have you make a relationship. You had shared when we spoke before about for you, that the path towards pet wellness is in part spiritual. And I think that relates back to that idea of the pet having a magic quality. And I don't mean metaphysical, I just mean we experience it as something outside of ourselves, something that at times is difficult to describe in words. But you have started to take a path, and might you just take a minute or two to describe for the listeners what that means to you, or what you've done, the elements of those steps.
Sure. So I came upon this path. I've always loved animals, but it was one specific animal, or I should say a litter of kittens, that kind of brought me onto this path. It was a litter of kittens that had neurological disorder, and we were just not able to save them. And so that set me on a path to want to learn more about holistic therapies, just alternatives, that we can have additional to veterinary care. And that sent me on a personal journey. Little did I know that by starting to learn more about holistic pet care and about how to work with their bodies, and how to change behaviors and physical ailments, that I would start this path to heal myself. And it's now, I've been volunteering for Long Beach Animal Care Services for 3 years now, working with their cats and helping, socialize cats. And I swear to you that when I go and work with cats, many times I walk out of there and I'm just crying, because they're healing me more than I'm healing them. Little did I know that I wanted to go and help animals, right? And I'm studying Reiki and tea touch and all of these herbalism and all of these things. And I said, as I start to work with them, they're actually working on me instead, or at the same time, And so yeah, I love the word magic. I feel like I've grown as a person. I've changed in positive ways. I've become more compassionate, I think, overall, towards humans, you know, just by animals showing how compassionate they are. That is one of their main qualities, is just they are, they love you unconditionally. And, if you show them respect, they're going to respect you back. And that's something that's sometimes hard to do with humans. We have all of these other layers of like our human interaction, that with animals, it's like you can't communicate with words. Well, in some ways you can, but there's just like this other understanding that, like you said before, it's hard to put into words. But I feel like through this work that this path that I've been on for now almost the last 5 years, yeah, I just feel calmer inside. It's hard to explain.
So let me just turn to a couple things. One is, not everyone can have a pet for different reasons. And so there are opportunities to intersect and have relationships with animals, even if you can't have one within your own household. We'll have some of that information at the end of this segment. Certainly volunteer as you do. But there will be other opportunities. But I wanted to talk about also that for people who do have dogs, but need assistance in having that dog cared for in terms of walking, there's Ida's Walkers, which has been around now for a very long time, a lot of success. And Ida's Walkers is where a volunteer comes and they take the dog out for a walk. It's as simple as that. We'll have that number. What I'd like you to share is the effect of that, having that confidence that their dog will be walked and thought about in that way, the effect on the person who is the caretaker of the dog.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we have actually a couple of older adults whose dogs we walked come into mind, because of just things that have happened in their lives recently. And just when they share with me about their relationship to the volunteer that comes and walks their dog, it's like they're talking about a friend. Some volunteers have been walking the same dog, because we match a dog to a volunteer, and it's the same volunteer, so that there's consistency, and you get to start to build trust with the dog, and vice versa. Seniors will, say, when Helen comes to walk my dog hears her park outside and just runs to the window and is so happy, and we call her auntie. And it's just really beautiful, because, and especially now more so, people are more isolated because of COVID than they already were in some cases. And sometimes they don't see a human for a while. And so having this, weekly or biweekly person that they're getting to know month after month, year after year, and knowing that their dog is going to be walked and that they have this support in place, they're more than grateful. Also, sometimes hard to describe in words how thankful they are, and just it's another family member for them.
Exactly.
And for the dog as well. They not only get the exercise and the outside time and the sniffing time, but they get to connect, with another individual. So
yeah, it's just a terrific, and it's just built, it has its own momentum, and it's been lovely to hear about. And that brings me to Seamus and Friends, totally new program that people will see on cable television. We'll have that information, but Seamus and Friends is for people and pets And it's just such a cool idea. Where people get to see all these resources. Well, you tell them about
Yeah.
Seamus and Friends.
Okay, so Seamus and Friends will be a pet wellness show. And one of the main things that we want it to be for everyone listening out there is we want it to be a community space to talk about all pet related things. And to learn together, have it be a community space. And so, one of the main goals is to get pets adopted. And so, we've partnered with Long Beach Animal Care Services as well as other rescue groups. So you'll be, in the months to come, you'll be seeing interviews with some of the people that are doing the work out in Long Beach, and so that's one of the main goals is to get the pets adopted, to share about what the rescues are doing, like the really really critical work that they're doing, and ways to get involved as well if you would like to volunteer. And then as part of the show, we're also going to be doing some other pet related things around wellness, around nutrition. I'll share some of the things that I've been learning with T-Touch, which is a form of, it's like a gentle approach to changing habits and behaviors, and to affect also the physical body as well, for just overall wellness, mind, body, and spirit wellness. And so I'll be sharing some of those skills as well that are very easy for, everybody can do these at home. And we're going to have some DIY pet toy shows as well, so you can learn how to make fun things with just items that you have at home, things that you would normally maybe throw away, but things to keep pets happy and healthy and get their mind active and working. And next on my list is nutrition, so sharing some nutritional tips as well. So it'll be kind of an assortment of all of those
Yes,
things.
and people can have their pets on television. So
Yes.
we're gonna give people that information. They're gonna call in and probably connect with you about having their pet, a photo of their pet, on television, which is probably the ultimate. Better than having us on television is having our pets on television, and to see that as a part of that. So this has been a great introduction. I would love to have you come back and provide more insight into this relationship that we have with our pets, because we need to understand it if we're going to benefit from it.
Mm-hmm.
And with that, I would like to just say, because this is a part of my wellness, is to be thankful. I am so thankful that our paths have intersected and we get to discuss important wellness ideas, but also we are able to act on them. And for that,
Mm-hmm.
I have deep, deep gratitude. So, with that, let's say goodbye
Thank you,
to
Gretchen.
all our audience. Thank you so much, Mickey.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.